I'm just going to start. So let's take a nice deep breath in and out. Let's start to relax and just let go of everything. Let go of everything that's on your mind and really take this time to really relax, and let's focus on being in the present moment. And I think we're going to start off with an easy tangle called fescue, and it looks like that. And I'm going to show you, just going to go right here in the box. We're just going to come up from the bottom and just kind of draw a nice curved line and then give it a nice little bead at the end. That's it. That's the whole pattern. And then to make it interesting, we're going to keep doing this in different directions, in different heights. We might come around, do another one. So just go really slow and relaxed. Now, some of you may be listening to the recording because I didn't give you much time to let you know this was going to happen. And that's okay. It should be recorded, and you can just do this at any time you want and follow along, and just very slowly, nice curved line with a little bead. And I'm gonna not talk for a moment and just do this. And if you're on doing this with me, just breathe and relax. So if you just got on, I would love to see, make a comment, let me know you're there. Now, if you're listening to a recording, you don't have to let me know you're here because I won't know that. It's just if you're live with me. And that is fescue. Fescu. It's a nice pattern. All right, let's move on to another easy pattern. And we're going to move on to ah. That's what it looks like. It's AHH. Again, this Tangle deck is from Lynn Mead's Tangle deck series. This is a mini. These cards are minis. They don't have step outs on them, but they have patterns, and it's a great tool to use with these cards in the game. Okay, so I think, what I said, we're still going to do ah. All right, so to do ah, the first thing we're going to do is just draw a line and then have a little bead at the end of that. And we're just going to do that all around. Going nice and slow, relaxed. Breathing in and out. So if you're watching this, whether live or recording, the idea for you is to just really be in the moment and relax. This is not one of those YouTube videos that you're watching how to do a pattern and you want to go quickly. Like when I watch, I kind of fast forward. This is an experience to just really experience the Zentangle method by relaxing with each stroke, taking your time. If you want to see patterns in a quick way, I've got lots of videos on the Facebook page that's very, very fast from some of my classes. So you can see that. But this is a live class to give you an opportunity to tangle with other people virtually. And so far, I don't have any comments, so I might be online by myself, but at least we'll have a recording and I'll know that pop-up classes don't work very well. Not everybody's sitting around just waiting for me to pop up a class. All right, so I did this I just did one, and sometimes you really the pattern is designed to do several, as it's shown here, but I just ended up doing one. I wasn't thinking about it because Zentangle is just about letting the pen, let your hand move the pen, not your mind, and just go with it. And I kind of like that. So if you notice, I went back and I added more and just different lengths. The whole idea is to add more in and have them all different sizes, different lengths. Let's take another deep breath in and out. And again, if you're on live with me right now on Saturday, June 8th at 5:54 p.m., please write a comment just to say hello. Or you can let me know later on. You can send me a private message to let me know you were on. Okie dokie, now I think we're gonna do N-Zeppel, one of my favorites. There's different ways to do N-Zeppel, and I'm gonna do it this way, which is a little bit more structured. Hello, Debbie, I'm glad you're there. Yes, it's a surprise. I know I should have texted you, but so I'm glad you're there. And so N-Zeppel. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make a grid, kind of a grid, and it's going to be with our pen. So we're just going to draw lines across. So if you have you don't have, most likely you don't have one of these cards, except Debbie might. Hi, Heidi, glad you got on. And so you can just make a box in your sketchbook or on your piece of paper or on your tile, and in that box you can start to do this grid. Let me just see how I want to do this grid. Yeah, and then we'll go down. And there's no perfection in Zentangle and no perfection in this, especially this type of grid that we're doing. And then once you have your grid down, we're then going to kind of turn our card or tile, and we're going to do a line going in diagonal now from corner to corner. But we're going to go one in each section. Just draw that. They don't have to line up. This pattern is a pattern where, well, none of the patterns have to be perfect, but especially this one. This is N-Zeppel, if you came on late. And N-Zeppel, there's a couple different ways to do this part. Some, we're doing a little structured, and there's another way to just do zigzag lines. So this way, and now we're gonna go, let's see, I think we will go diagonal this way as well. Just kind of crossing over, which we hardly ever do. So just slow down, relax, breathe. Again, the live classes are to just kind of have the experience of tangling from your own home live with other people virtually. And it doesn't have to look like this. It really does. Hi, Arnell. I'm so glad you're here. And so now just get some lines going. You could do it in a grid like I did, or zigzag lines. Doesn't really matter. And just relax, breathe. And now in each one of these sections, we're going to squish in a balloon by tracing along the sides, the edges there. Now I'm using a camera that doesn't zoom in. I use a different camera in my classes where I can zoom, so I'm hoping you can see this. Maybe I'll lift the paper up. So what's happening is I'm drawing across, tracing along the edge, and then on the corners I kind of round them off. And let's see if I can lift this up a little bit and see. Kind of hard to see. Yours is going to look different than mine, so we're just tracing along the sides, and then when we come to the corners, we round them off. So that looks a little bit more of what I wanted to do. And I'm working in a very small area. I think these boxes about 1 inch by 1 inch. I'm tangling on the Bijou Bingo cards that I'm creating for our Zentangle Bingo game that we're going to do in the villages. And if you live in the villages, some of you do, you're invited to come and help make these cards Sunday, June 23rd. The information's on the Facebook page, on the events. So just really relax now, and in a moment I'm going to stop talking so we can really relax. Breathe in and out. And I'm just going to let you enjoy the quiet while you tangle this pattern, taking your time. So this is being recorded. So Arnell, if you're still on, just know that you can come back. So I know you have to leave. You can come back and you can watch the recording on your own. It should be on the Facebook page. Can you hear my cat? So as you can see, that kind of looks different than this, but every time we do a pattern, it's always different, and everyone who's doing this pattern with us today, it's going to look different. Just focus on the stroke, not the outcome. But when the outcome is done, you're going to want to admire it. Okay. So we're going to move on to another pattern. Let me just put that aside, And I think we're going to do Be Light. Looks like that. Be Light. And this starts off with a grid. And we're going to do kind of a curved grid. So I'm going to draw a curved line from point to point. So again, you're going to want to draw a box or some kind of a string on your paper or sketchbook. If you want, really don't have to. You could just draw a grid. You don't have to have a box. You can just draw a grid. It can be open-ended. And we're just going to leave some nice space in between. Let's see, we'll go a little bit there, a little bit there. And so I'm going to grab I don't think I need to step out for that. All right. So now we're going to go the other way. And there's my grid. So the first part is we look at these little points and we just give that a little arc and color that in. And we'll do that on every section. So there's a point there, and we'll just give it a nice little arc and color that in. Just take your time, go slow, focus on each stroke. And if you've just joined us and you haven't made a comment yet, please say hello so I know you're there. You don't have to, but would love to hear from you if you're there. Okay, I think I've got them all. So now the next step is we're going to aura these. But here's what's going to happen. We're going to aura half of that, leave a space, pick up that pen, leave a space, and then continue on. So remember, this is called Be Light. And so what we're doing is we're creating a light by having this space in between. And when you get to the end, you don't have to continue with that space. You can close it up, or you can. It does not matter. But that's what makes this pattern, is just that arc. Pick up your pen, leave a space, continue on. Try to do it around the same area. Breathing, light touch with your pen. I think I'll put something there. So in Zentangle, I always say, listen to your own creative intuition. Always listen to it. If your intuition wants you to do something different just do it. Listen to it. And that's what I did today. My intuition this morning said, do a live Zentangle class. And I said, well, I'd like to, but I'm kind of busy today. I had to go to drumming and I had to do some things. But when I got home, I still heard that intuition. Teach a live Zentangle class today. So I said, I'm not going to fight that intuition anymore, and I'm going to do it because I felt like I wanted to. And hi, Heather. And look at all these people coming on. So I'm working in a very small space. So some of you might, you're probably used to working in a little bit, I should say, I don't like the word work, drawing, creating in a little bit of a bigger space. So you may not be done as quickly as I am, even though I'm trying to go slow. So we're going to breathe in and out, in and out. Relax. Enjoy tangling with your fellow tanglers, all virtually. Some are in Florida, some are in Mexico, some are in Massachusetts. I'm just making these auras with little spaces in between, creating that light effect. And if you're there and you haven't said hello yet, please feel free. We'd love to know who's there on the phone, on the live class. If you're listening to this recording and it's not June 8th at 6:09 p.m., then then you're not live, and you don't have to comment. Although we'd love to still hear from you. You can comment, absolutely. Okay, so let's just take a breather. If you, I'm going to just cap my pen for a second. We always want to cap. I'm using this O2. I also O1. I'm using for this. Maybe I'll switch to O1. I don't see much difference in either one of them, but and let's just shake out our hands and breathe and shake it up and relax and move around. So I'm just kind of moving my shoulders around and my neck. Just want to take a nice breather. And let's take another deep breath in and out. Good. So I'm going to keep going. Let's go. Let's see. So I'm going to put that aside. I think I'm going to now do Kiko. Now, this is how it looks on this card. I might do it a little bit differently, but that's kind of the idea. And again, if you came in late, I'm using Lynn Mead's Tangle decks. And these little cards are mini decks that she has. They don't have step outs, but they're really cute and they are working for me today. So the first thing we're going to do with Kiko is we're going to draw 4 lines. The way Lynn did it, it looks like 3 lines. So I'm going to do 4 lines. And now we're going to go the other way, 4 lines. And we're going to keep alternating. Breathe, relax, go nice and slow. Now you can also, then the second row, you go the opposite way. So I'm doing this horizontally, if that was vertical. So sometimes I like to draw a grid with my pencil first, because sometimes I don't always stay in line, but which, again, it doesn't matter. There's no perfection in Zentangle. We're not looking to be straight lines, but sometimes it's a little bit neater. See how that is for me. So that's why I sometimes like to do a grid. But again, Zentangle isn't about having perfect lines. Now, if you notice I'm adding more lines just because I want to get to that place. So they don't always have to be 3 or 4 lines. They can be multiple. It's all up to you. Every pattern is a suggestion. Every pattern is just a suggestion and for you to do whatever you want with it. So let's slow down some more and let's focus on each stroke. Breathing in and out. If you notice when I slow down, my lines look a lot neater. Hi, Lisa. I was wondering if you were gonna get on. Glad you were able to. This was a last-minute decision to do this. And for anybody who came on late, you can always, if you're interested, You can watch the recording to see what you missed. Not now because it's not up there yet, but when we're done. So let's keep going. And so again, I'm just going to show you that this is a Bijou Bingo card. And there's a picture, because I'm using a different camera, it's kind of delicate right now. I don't want to touch it because it's kind of broken and it will fall apart. So I don't want to mess with it. But if you want to see the full card, they're not very big. And they're posted on the Facebook page under the event for June 23rd that everyone's invited to come help make these cards and play bingo, Bijou Bingo. So we're still going. I'm going to keep going here. And let's see. We're going to do another pattern. And we're going to do Onomato. Onomato. So these patterns, and it looks kind of like this. When I do it, it's going to look different. But the whole idea is to have big orbs and little orbs. And you can have a lot of fun with this pattern because you can do it in a different string, different, it doesn't have to be all in a straight line. But I'm going to start off by doing an orb right in this corner here, a nice big orb. So what was I saying? Who remembers what I was saying? Let's see. I don't remember. So we're just drawing these orbs. And each time we draw another one, they connect. So I just draw right against it, and I'm going in a diagonal. And then once you get that down, you're then going to draw little tiny orbs. And orbs is just another word for imperfect circle. And so I'm doing the same exact thing, except it's smaller, and they're connected, they're touching. And let's just slow that down. So I have this white space here. So I could fill it in with more orbs, or I can just color that in with my pen. And remember, I'm working in a very tiny space, just like a 1-inch square, because of these cards. So your space might be a lot bigger. So now we're going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to now do another layer of big orbs. And I'm going to do that on either side. And then I'm going to keep going. So if anybody is watching right now live or the recording and you're not drawing with us, why don't you go get a pen and paper and just start doing it with us. It can even be scratch paper. You don't even have to keep it. The whole idea is to just draw mindfully, relax. Doesn't matter what it looks like. And if you don't want to follow the pattern and you're kind of just don't want to think about anything, which is what Zentangle is all about, you might just want to just get out and start drawing circles on a scratch paper, any kind of paper. Just grab something, maybe in the back of an envelope from your bills or something. Just start drawing circles slowly, focusing on each stroke. But what might happen is if you do it on the back of an envelope or a bill or scrap paper, you might end up liking it and not wanting to throw it away. So if you have a sketchbook or a nice clean piece of paper, but then again, you can always take a picture of it. So as you can see, I'm just continuing on, alternating big orbs and little orbs. Coloring in the little white space in the background. And that is onomato. 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 Could have a lot of fun with that word. Onomato. 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 Okay, just being a little silly now. So if there's anybody else who's on and hasn't said hello yet and you would like to, I'd love to see who's on live with us. Okay, let's take another deep breath in and out. And now we're going to do a pattern called BB. That's it, BB. And it looks kind of like this. Well, it looks like this, but we all will do it differently. So the first thing we're going to do is, and I'm going to start kind of in the middle, but it almost looks like an accordion, doesn't it? Like, so imagine it's going to go, you don't have to do it this way. I'm going to do it in a diagonal. You don't have to, but that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to start in the middle, just because I feel like starting in the middle, listening to my intuition, and I'm just drawing this very skinny little board stick. What was I thinking of? I can't remember now. But now I'm going to draw one right next to it, a different height. So I'm going to come up, touching it, come across and down, and I'm going to come down a little bit lower and then come up and attach it. And that's what this pattern's all about, having each layer a different height. And it doesn't matter if it's bigger or smaller. That's all. Don't even think about it. Just draw these things. And then what we're going to do, so you go back and you color in one sporadically. So I'm just going to show this to you again. You can wait till you're all done and then just go back and color a few of them in, or you can do it as you go. So I think that I just wanted to show that to you, but I think I'm going to just keep drawing these boards, piano keys, accordions, whatever you want to call them. If anyone has a suggestion, I'd love to hear it. You can just put it in the comments section. And so we're just going to do this. So this is an actual live class or recorded class, which means we're going slow, we're relaxing. Again, it's not one of those YouTube videos where I'm demoing a pattern and you really want to see it and get through it. This is an actual class for you to experience the Zentangle method of relaxing and drawing with other fellow tanglers virtually. So as you see now, I'm going on the other direction. Now I could turn my tile and to get a different angle, or I could keep it like this. I have to tell you, these cards are a lot of fun to tangle on. And I want to thank my good friend Terry DeLong in Massachusetts for sending me her bijou cards. I was going to order them from Zentangle, and I probably still will when I need more, but she had a whole bunch she wasn't using, and she sent these to me, so I'm so happy she did that. You know what? I feel like putting some orbs in one of these. You see, there's no right or wrong in Zentangle. Always listen to your intuition. And my intuition said put some orbs in one of these. So I did. And look how pretty it is. So that is BB. So keep tangling. I know that some of you are still drawing, and I keep going because I need to find some more patterns. And let's see. Let's see, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did 7 patterns, but again, they're very small areas. So some of you might still be on the first pattern we started with if you're using a larger area. So also, I'd love to hear, if you don't mind, maybe take a minute and make a comment like, how's it going? Like, is it too small? Is it too big? Are you rushing? Are you enjoying this? Is the pace good? I'd love to hear from you. You can make a comment right now, or you can let me know later. Let's see. I think we'll just do a couple more. Okay. Let's see, did I do this one yet? I think I'll do this one. Ooh, this was kind of fun. I'll do that one too. Okay. So if anyone else got on live, please say hello so we know you're there. Don't have to, but I'd love to. I love when people comment. I love it, love it. All right, so we're gonna do this one. It's kind of cool, and it's called Nippa. Oh, I know what I was gonna say earlier, that I show you the names because you can Google them. Just put Tangle Pattern after the name, and you can find lots of variations and videos and step outs to those patterns. All right, so we're going to do Nippa, which means we're just going to go back to our orbs. We've had lots of practice with orbs, and we're going to make them all different sizes, and we're going to place them in all different places. Think about the universe with all the different planets. You just kind of have them going different sizes, just kind of floating around. Just a few, not many. We're just going to do a few and some different. And you can always add them as we go if you feel like you need another one. And I think I did a lot, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter how many you do. And now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a wavy line, and every time we come to an orb, we're going to stop and imagine it's coming through the other side. And that's all we're doing. And then we're going to keep drawing these lines. I like to aura mine. So an aura is just tracing the same shape right above it. It doesn't have to be exact, but I just like the feel of auraing, tracing right above. And let's really slow it down, relax, breathe. And I'm going to stop talking so we can just enjoy the quiet together. Hi, Janice. I see that you made a like. Oh, that's good. A like is just as good as a comment. Helps me to know that people are there, that these pop-out classes may actually work. I'm not a planner. I never know what I'm doing. I like to do based on what I feel. I mean, of course, I plan things, but I was afraid to plan this class in case I, had a hot date later on or something like that, which by the way, if you know of any eligible men that would be suitable, don't let them know. No, I'm just kidding. I'm available. Well, I'm available physically, mentally, I'm not sure. Okay. If you notice, I haven't done any shading, and but we can do some shading. No, I don't want. I don't feel like doing any shading. Sorry, you guys can shade on your own. You can. You can. All right, maybe I'll do some shading. I'm gonna do. How about this? I'll do one more pattern, and then I'll go back and I'll shade all of these. Good plan? What do you think? Okay. So I'm moving on to the last pattern. I don't even know how long we're. Oh my goodness, we're at 46 minutes already. That's great. Okay, so we're gonna do Indirella. Indirella, Indirella, Indirella. It looks like this, like little fishies. But they're a lot of fun. Now, so let's see. Let's see. Let's draw one. I'm going to start in this corner. And I'm just drawing this arc. And actually, I'm going to draw a couple smaller arcs in front of it. So typically I really would have started here. If you notice, I don't like to say should. It's kind of messy, but that's okay. And then what happens with Indirella is we start small, and then we get bigger, and then we get smaller again. So what we're doing here, we're just drawing these arc shapes to create this type of shape. And the whole idea is that they're close together, but they never touch. So I'm going to draw another one. I'm going to start small. I'm going to grow it. And then I'm going to start to go smaller again. Focusing on each line. So if anyone else is joining us, please say hello, either like or comment, only if you're on live. If you're listening to the recording, then I hope you still are just really enjoying the calmness, taking your time. And that's my Indie today. And as you can see, it looks a lot different than this one. I know there's kind of a light there, sorry, a little glare. Okay. Now, let's do some shade. So I have no idea if people are still on or not. I'm assuming you guys are. I mean, I know Deb is probably still there, unless she had big plans. Well, why is it all faded out? Maybe she's gone. Okay. All right. So I think I need to turn the light off a little. Let's see. Is that good? I don't know. Let's cap your pens if you like to do shading with me today. And what did I do with? Here they are. Okay. Excuse me. All right, let's see. We're going to go back to Zentangle. And the shading that we're going to do here is just put a little bit, like maybe in one little corner to one side. Like it's almost like you're just doing one side. You can have a corner, then go off a little bit onto the side. This is a very small area I'm working in. So when you work in a small area, you really don't need, it's a terrible tortillon, it's all mushed. Okay. And now, if I already have some on my tortillon, because it's so small, I can just dab a little bit, just in maybe a corner of each little orb. Just a little bit. Just shading a very small area of each orb. Doesn't even matter where on it is. Just a little bit of graphite really makes a difference. Oh, look how lovely. Now the lighting, I'm not sure if the lighting of this camera of the shading shows up too well. I'm not sure about that, but at least you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Yes, sweetie. I don't know if you guys hear my cat or not. Hi, Janice. So now with our shading for Be Light, we're just going to shade a little bit on the bottom of each one. So on the edge of my pencil, I'm just putting a little bit of graphite right in these little points of the section, just a little bit. And then I'll take my tortillon and blend it in, staying low, pushing it out just a little bit on either side, but we're keeping it all on the bottom. And then there's enough on my tortillon to do some of the other ones that the small area. Wish I had a better tortillon. Okay. So we're gonna move on now to oh, we didn't do this one. Fescue. We'll go back to fescue. Well, this is interesting the way they do this. Oh, okay. So what we're going to do here is just put a little bit, and I'm using what's left of my tortillon only because I have enough on there, but if you don't, you can just put a little graphite right on the bottom, almost like you've got some shaded grass coming, just staying low. And then if you want, you can kind of give an aura, a shaded aura around the top. And that's what they show in Lynn Mead's. That's how Lynn did it. She showed a little aura in pencil there and some nice down here. Now, if you have a different way to shade any of these, you are more than welcome to do that. I don't know if anyone hears that noise in the background, but that's my cat on the scratch pad because she wants some attention. Okay. So, for the only thing we're going to shade here is just this middle. Just this middle, kind of going around. Make it a nice circle. Come out just a little bit. That's it. So I didn't draw this. This comes on the Bijou cards. It's the center of the card. It's like a free space. All right, so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 5 more patterns to shade. And we're going to shade Kiko now. And let's see how to do that. I think, okay, so with this one, we're going to alternate. So we're going to do just the top of that one and then the side of this one. And we're going to just alternate that top and side. Again, if you have another idea, listen to your intuition. And then this will be side and top. So the horizontal, I just get confused with horizontal, vertical, but horizontal looks like the side and vertical on top. And if you do it reverse, it doesn't matter. Mistakes don't show up, and there are no mistakes. They're just opportunity for other possibilities. And that's not a joke. I mean, it's funny, but it's true in the Zentangle world. Okay. Also, anyone who's doing this, whether you're doing it live or on the recording, I'd love to see your work. Again, I don't like the word work, your creations, your designs. So you can post them right on in this posting, actually, on the recording that's on the site. You can post the pictures of what you end up doing. Okay, so for these orbs, we're just going to kind of put a little graphite, mimicking this rounded shape right on top, almost like giving it a little beanie, a little hat, just a little one. I call it sometimes a hair piece, little hair piece, because my dad used to have one when I was a young girl. And I hate to tell you what I found cleaning out the basement a couple years ago. Okay. My mother's basement, not mine. All right. And then we take the tortillon, we just smooth it out, blend it. And if you want, you can actually, after you blend it, you can push it, maybe push it down a little bit, depending on how big your orbs are. And then with the remnants of your tortilla, maybe just dab a few on the little ones, just to give it a little touch. Okay. So now, for our next shading, for this one, we're going to do two different things on here. We're going to go right outside. We're giving this an aura, an outside aura of some shading. So we're going on the outside, and then on top, we're going to give it an inside, just a little bit on the insides of each section. And then when you're ready, you'll smooth that out. With your tortillon. Alrighty, now we're going to shade Nippa. And with Nippa, we're going to go on the inside, on like the right side, and a little bit on the outside. So it's almost like you're going on the inside, but you can go out of the lines just a little bit. So the shade is going out. Now I'm still using my tortillon, but if I were to take my pencil, I would just put a little tiny graphite there, only because I'm working so small, and then I'm going to just rub it and then that's it. That's it. And one more to go. All right. So for Indirella, we're just going to shade the bottom inside. It's on the inside, just the bottom edge of each one of these things. We don't like to name them because we don't want it to look like anything. So you see how I made a little error there? Well, we would think it might be an error, but it's not an error. So it's an opportunity for another possibility. So I could maybe do the same thing on all of them, put a little black thing there, which might be cool. Or I could maybe just kind of go with it and color it in. I was trying to add in small lines, but I'm thinking, my intuition is saying just color that in. Maybe I'll color one in over here. And maybe over here. And maybe, and maybe I'll do a little embellishing. So again, it's Bijou Bingo Cards. If you want to see the full card, the blank one. Oh, actually, I have a full one too that I did on the somewhere. There's a posting on the Facebook page because I just can't show you the with this camera. And I have one more row to go, and I will do that on my own. And I'd love to hear from all of you how you enjoyed today's. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I would love to see what you ended up creating. So thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing your beautiful artwork posted on the site, please, on the Facebook page. So have a wonderful evening. Thank you again for tangling with me.